At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Glendon Forgy, the president of Trinity Valley, and he will make our introduction of our new women's basketball coach.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here today. I'm a little bit jealous because there's a big crowd here today. I think there's more here today for this announcement than there was for my announcement when I became president. So the search committee, as you know, has been looking for a new head coach for our women's basketball program after Michael Landers had decided to move on. And the last 2 weeks we've been busy. We've had a lot of good applicants. As a matter of fact, we had 6 applicants who have had teams at the national tournament either this year or last year. So a very good pool of applicants to choose from. Very qualified, excellent candidates. But when I got down to it and evaluating the strengths of the coaches, what they could do best to keep the tradition here at Trinity Valley Community College of winning championships and competing for national championships, we thought that Bill Damon was the best one to continue that. And so the committee selected him and decided to offer him the position. Met with him last night. He was with some recruits, and I asked Bill if he still wanted the position. He said he still did, and so we're glad to offer to him, and we're glad to have him come and join us and be the next head coach. A lot of pressure on him. President Ball was speaking at the going away party for Coach Landers yesterday, and he said that when Coach Budke had left and they were looking for a new coach to replace Coach Budke, that Coach Budke recommended a young man who's came in and did a great job, and that was Coach Landers. And probably the best advocate for Coach DeMuth again was Coach Budke, who called and said the best candidate we could probably get for this job was Bill Davis. So I hope Coach Budke's correct again, and that we continue to win our ways and get some more national championships here. Coach?
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Forgy, Dr. Drumgle, and the rest of the committee. It's kind of interesting that I didn't really know how the process would go, but I ended up enjoying the process very much. It was a very enjoyable experience. A little stressful, didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but a nice experience. This is a special place to me, special place to a lot of people in here. We're used to competing at a high level. That's not going to change. I want to keep this program where it's at and even elevate it to where it used to be. We're going to bring in good players. We're going to bring in high quality individuals. We've already signed a couple of those individuals on Wednesday. What's day? Today's Friday, right? Losing track of days. Today's Friday. We've signed 3. I've got 2 young ladies on campus that can help us maintain our level of excellence, and we're going to do things the right way. And you just think about it. We've had from Gary Ashlock to Joe Curl to Kirk Budke to Michael Landers. It's a lot to live up to. That's 4 great coaches. I plan on living up to that. And then we can't forget about Connie Russell, who started the Chicks back in the day. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have the program we have now. Everything's got to start at some point in time. And we're going to end that with here with my tenure and get us a few more rings. Keep developing players, keep sending them on and ready to compete at the next level, and win a whole lot of games in this gym and anywhere else we need to play in the future. Any questions?
Bill, recruiting is such a big part of having a successful team and to carry on a tradition like this. How much do you feel like it helps that you're already in this office to a certain extent? You know the process here. For the folks y'all have visited with previously, they're going to be familiar with you. How important is that for you guys to continue the tradition?
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Coach Landers last night and Coach Budke a little bit and some other people and everything, and it's a little different feeling. Usually once somebody gets a job, you're pretty much starting from scratch, and building your team, especially at this level when you just got 2 classes. You've got a freshman class and a sophomore class, and we don't have very many returning. So that I've been working on this the last 5 months, and can just continue with where we're at instead of having to start at the beginning and figure it out is really going to help our immediate success next year, because we've already signed some kids, and we're going to sign a couple more next week, and then we'll eventually fill out our roster at some point in time during the summer. So I think it helps tremendously for immediate success. We're not going to take a huge dip and have to come in here and just try to find out where all the players are at. I know where they're at, we just got to get them there.
Take us through that process of getting them here as brand, new in your position. What is that you say to those recruits?
It's not really, I've been selling Trinity Valley for a long time. I was here 6 years in the 90s and here the past 3 years. The biggest thing in recruiting is you gotta have a product and a place to sell. And to me, it's easy to sell. It's easy to sell someone you believe in it. And then so I think by me conveying to them what a special place this is, they kind of get a feeling for it before they already get here. And then players, no matter where you're at or what kind of program you have, the players that are going to come play at the institution have to have a good relationship with the coach, whether it be via the assistant coach or the head coach. And if they have a good relationship with you and understand what kind of person you are and how you're going to treat them, take care of them, and you're going to win, and your style of play and your system, I don't think a lot of that really changes. This place, and I said it, I believe in my interview, and I think we dated it back to Force's days, but we know in the last 20-something years, I don't think we've got to figure out, we need to figure this out. There hasn't been a second of zone defense played at Trinity Valley, and that's not going to change, so we're going to keep adding on those years. And if something's, not broken, then you don't go try to fix it or reinvent the wheel. So we're just going to continue with the style of play that we've had and the kind of players that we've had.
Coach, one of your first things going to have to be, I guess, to get an assistant coach. What are your thoughts on that?
I was thinking of that immediately last night. When I was at Hill College as a head coach, I didn't have an assistant, which makes it very difficult. I've got some people in mind and that I believe that I need to visit with you and Dr. Jungle about. We need to sit down and find out kind of what the parameters and pay scale and things like that are, so I can start that search, and bring in a quality person that's going to work hard and going to be able to help keep this program where it's at and where it's been.
Have you had a chance to visit with any of the players that are going to be coming back and kind of gauge what their level of excitement is about this decision?
Well, we don't have too many, so and I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet. It's been pretty quick. We have company in town, and we've the news last night, and Coach Landers was going away yesterday, and so there's a whole lot of things going on. So I plan on getting to that pretty quick.
And one more thing, can you just talk about what working with him has been like? Has that helped you grow professionally?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, when I first got, let's just go back to the beginning real quick. When I got here in 1994, I loved the game, but I didn't have a vast knowledge of the game and how it should be done. And I learned a tremendous amount under Coach Butke. I learned a tremendous amount doing things on my own that I had learned from him, and then had a great experience at the Division I level. And then coming back here with Coach Landers just added to that. I mean, I've worked for three extremely good coaches, and have. And here's the thing: in coaching, you can't. There's several different ways to do things, and you can't I'm going to do this time. I'm going to do this time. You've got to be able to take things from people and integrate it into your style, because you can't bounce all over the place. You've got to have a consistency about what you do, but be open to be integrating new ideas into that. And that's what a lot of what Coach Landers did was a lot like what Coach Butke did in a few different ways, and some better and some over here. So just kind of putting all that together has definitely helped. I don't think I would be near as prepared for this job if I would not have worked for Mike.
Coach, do you feel like this obviously is a great opportunity for you, but describe pressure. You talked about some of those great coaches that you're stepping in behind. Any pressure on you?
To me, there's not. I've always put great pressure on myself to, make sure that we had when I was here or wherever I was at, that we had great talent. When I was a head coach, there wasn't any expectations at Hill College when I was there, but I put the expectations on myself, and so there is external expectations. You can see with the amount of people that are here today, and there's a lot of people that care about this program and how it does. but there's not any outside pressure that's going to put any more pressure on me than I do on a daily basis to make sure the job gets done.
Coach, one thing that Trinity Valley's always done is during the preseason, you play some of the top teams in the nation to help prepare yourself. Are you going to continue to do that? And I know that's something that this program prides itself in.
No, exactly. We've already, and I was already working on the schedule before, you know, even as Coach Landers made his announcement before, you know, last night, and we're working on the schedule. We're already scheduled to go down to Florida and play at the tournament at Chipola. And we've still got several games left that have to be completed, but and it's, you know, we like to play as many home games as we can, but it's hard for us to get home games, so usually we have to go on the road and travel a little bit. So, you know, we'll still go anywhere and play anybody at any given time in the preseason, because win or lose, it makes you better and prepares you for the end of the season.
Coach, will you feel like, and you mentioned that you just don't have a lot returning, but do you feel like you're going to reload instead of rebuild with success?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, going back to the earlier question about, you know, we've already, you know, as of today, we don't have, you know, 2 or 3 players. You know, we've already signed a few, so we're starting to build our numbers back up. And you know, it's going to be an ongoing process throughout the summer to get the right players, because you know, you don't want to just fill a roster to fill a roster. That may make for a great summer, but you're not going to enjoy a great year the next year. You want to make sure that you're patient, you get the right players, the right talent level, the right kind of people, and that just kind of takes throughout the summer. And obviously, we need to sign several pretty quick, and we're already on those and have done that. But yeah, it's going to be a while. It's going to take up until school starts to make sure we've got the roster where we want it to be.
What's some of the probably the number one things that you've learned from Coach Budge and Coach Landers?
Number one thing.
Or just some important things?
Well, just, I mean, you know, how one, you have to treat your players, I think is a big thing. 2, how to get the best out of your players. You know, because there's a difference in stepping in the gym and just yelling and screaming every day and, you know, thinking you're getting your point across, and coming in and knowing how to get your point across, and knowing and engaging where your team's at. And I think that's kind of a big thing. And I learned a lot of that from Coach Bucky, and you know, I learned a lot of stuff from Coach Landers along that line as well, along with, you know, some X's and O's stuff and stuff that we're going to do on the court.
On a personal note, what got you into coaching? How did you ever see yourself playing all the way through and then thinking, someday I want to be a coach? How'd you get involved?
I wanted to coach ever since I was probably in the 8th grade and played 8th grade. You know, I was always the one trying to help everybody else. Not that I was the best player in the gym, you know, but there's a hoop at my parents' house that, you know, was just worn out. It didn't matter if it was 20 degrees or 100 degrees. I was out there shooting and everything, and you know, played all through high school, and it always tried to help. You know, I really helped the girls more. Now that I look at it, girls team more than I helped the players that I played with. And I went to college and thinking, okay, I'm going to, you know, get a history degree. I'm going to coach. And then this guy named Guy Furr that I ended up meeting said, you need to come meet with Coach Bucky. And so I came and met with Coach Bucky, and here I stand today. So, you know, it's I always thought I was going to be coaching high school until that day when Coach Bucky took me in that old blue car with that white top that I couldn't believe that he was actually driving around town. And now I drive a black car that I can't believe I drive around town. So, but yeah, it's been a long time. I've always wanted to coach and be involved.
Is that it? Thanks everyone for coming. I know Bill's been glad to visit with you.